Hi everyone, today we're going to have a look at a solution to this little computer science problem that we had. It's to do with two-dimensional arrays. We were asked to consider the BOM class. This is the BOM class. There's one class variable. It's a one-dimensional double array, which is called energy. We have a constructor method here where this is populated somehow. And we also have a accessor method, getEnergyArray, which returns a pointer to another part of the program. So it's returning a pointer to that double array. Also, in our main program, we are constructing 4 double arrays and assigning each of those to a new BOM object, as the constructor method tells us that we can. Okay, so that's happening here in a main program. So hopefully that bit makes sense. Then, when we've constructed 4 BOM objects, we're then going to assign each of the objects to an element of a two-dimensional BOM array with 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, and that's what's happening here. Now we're going to write some code that will display the total energy value of the 4 BOM objects in the two-dimensional array BOMs. Well, let's have a look at how this works. I'm just going to write out one of those lines of code for you, so this can be a kind of starting point, just so we can see what's going on. A two-dimensional BOM array, BOMs, is equal to a new two-dimensional BOM array with 2 rows and 2 columns. So this is, just keep this in mind, this is the situation. And each of these elements has been assigned a BOM object. Okay, that's happening here. I'm not going to write all that down, but that's what's happening. So I really want to loop through this array, and for each of the BOM objects in the array, I'm going to use this method to access the double array that each of the BOM objects is storing. And if I can access the array that the objects are storing, I can then calculate totals. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a nested for loop. BOMs.length I++, and let's just go into so here we have a nested for loop. This will allow me to incrementally go through the two-dimensional BOM array. I need to access each of the BOM objects' double arrays so that I can have a look at the energy values in the arrays. So what I'm going to say is a double array, which I'm going to call energy, is equal to BOMs ij dot get. What do we call it? Let's have a quick look. getEnergyArray. And this is returning a double array. So that's what I'm setting up here. I'm just going to assign that double array that's stored to my own one that I'm making in my main program. So we can imagine that if I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 0, we will go into BOMs 0, 0. Okay? And we've got to remember that BOMs 0, 0 is pointing to a BOM object. Okay? So that BOM object that BOM00 is pointing to has a method which will allow us to get the double array of energy values, and that's what I'm going to store here. Now I'm going to create another little for loop, which is going to loop through this energy array. So let's say int k equals 0 to k is less than energy dot length k++. So I'm going to loop through this array, and I'm going to create a total. Total plus equals energy k. Now I need to find out where am I going to initialize this new value here, total. It has to be a double. Where am I going to set it to 0? Be inside here. So when I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 0, I get a total set to 0. Then we calculate the total here, and then we display the result, and then I stays at 0 and j becomes 1. Total resets to 0. So this is where I'm going to put that double total equals 0. Then we get the values from the BOM object, and then we loop through those three values, and we create the total. And before we go to the next, before we increment j, we need to print out the result. So that's going to be here. System.out.print let's just say this BOM has a total energy of plus total. This is the end of the first for loop, and then this will be the end of the second for loop. So these match, and these match. And that's my solution. Have a good look at it, have a think about it, see if you can figure out why that's a good solution to the problem.